Hey everybody, been a while. Of course, everybody knows about this right here. But I figured we would kind of talk about the game because really there's not a lot happening in it, and maybe we'll touch on some of the good, some of the bad, maybe some things as to why the game failed. So it's sad. It has its good points and it has its bad points, and of course, it's like with any other game. It you know it all depends on its marketing, how it was marketed and stuff. So, anyways, yeah, not going to be a big long monologue intro. Just wanted to say, hey, let you know that I'm still in the game, still playing. And but we'll discuss more of that when we get into the video. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Hey, everybody, Archangel here. King Arthur, Legends Rise, shutting down. Most of us already know that. In case there's somebody that doesn't know, maybe runs across this, you know, since it's going to be a newer video. Yeah, terminating on Thursday, March 12th of 2026. Yeah, it didn't get the support it needed. I mean, it started off gangbusters. A lot of people were jumping on. A lot of old raid players, some Watcher of Realms people, a whole bunch of other, Marvel Strike Force, Star Wars, Galaxy of Heroes. I mean, a lot of people were jumping in thinking, hey, this is going to be a new game. It's going to be great. Some people knew about it from when it was in its other beta prior, and I guess it just got really horrible. People were just disgusted with it. So, um, yeah, it just, yeah, it has it up and it's down. But, so, yeah, game is going away next year. So we'll go ahead and get out of this. Excuse me. So I've been getting in, kind of been just basically doing the dailies. I mean, I don't really see the need to push forward in this. I mean, yeah, we're in a war attack, but honestly, if I go to my clan, I'm the only member in it. A lot of the players, as soon as this found out, I mean, we were full before the announcement, and then we had two or three people that just all of a sudden and they were new players that just kind of quit. They were like on and they just stopped playing. So after the 6 days, they got the boot, and then when the announcement came out, a lot more people just started quit playing, and I think it was gotten to the point where um, yeah, they're gonna walk through me because um, I'm the only one that said anything, which I really didn't need to. The last war, I didn't. There was nothing said. It was all bots. So, and I had to take my clan announcement out. I had to go in and for this and put in there in like all caps in the beginning, exclamation points and everything that just said this do not apply. This clan is dissolved, and because I didn't want because I was open. Anybody was welcome to come and join, and um, been in discussions with another guy for another clan that they're looking for active bodies so they can do things. And then we talked, and I was like, if you're needing, and they were like going, well, they're 2 levels higher than me, so I'm like, well, they're going to get better rewards out of that than we're getting right now because here we're getting 75,000, 8% for the victory gold and experience increase. Here they're in the gold badge, 85,000 attendance gold reward, and then you're getting 8.5 in this boost. So, so yeah, it made more sense for us to just move over to them. So it's it is what it is. I mean, it's just the game was dying ever since it's unlocked. Um, and the implements of stuff they tried to unlock, it was botched. The clan war, when they started bringing out the clan war, it just so much that was going on with it that just nobody. It just was a debacle that got rolled out on that. And then for the clan, it only allowed you to have uh, for you to get this. It's like beforehand, it you had to have everybody logging in and then coming in here to be able to get this top reward. And everybody was throwing a fit. Everybody, all the clan members, even I was throwing a fit about it. It's like, no, you can't, you can't, you know, hamstring us like that. So they, with all the gripe and grumble from everybody, they got in there and they fixed it. So now only 20 of you needed to get in there because you know it's a game, and everybody and most of the people that play this have real lives, so there's going to be a day where something happened where one person couldn't get in there, but because one person couldn't get into the game, they're going to hinder the rest of the clan because of that one person to be able to get these rewards out of here. So yeah, no, that wasn't kosher. So, and then some other things. Um, One of the other things that I know at Coliseum, most games when you do any type of arena battles, there's like a limit to how many you can do a day. For like, Star Wars and Marvel Strike Force, you get 5 attempts at it. For Rage, you got 10, but you can refill those. With Strike Force and Star Wars, you use the in-game currency. You would use crystals or power cores for Strike Force. If you wanted to fight more than that, there really wasn't a refill for the arena. But with Raid, there are refill tokens that you get as a reward and for a purchase through crystals as well. So this was just free to play. You could push as far as you want, but it's just I've never been a big AOE and a PvP person. I mean, I'll do part I need to do for like definitely for like the daily, or if there's a clan raid or whatever, I'll participate that way. But I'm not somebody that just wants to camp out in arena all day long, just trying to find somebody to fight. So, but yeah. And then content wise, you had your power up dungeon, your equipment dungeons. Yeah, you can get in here, but once you get to these levels, like once you get here, you're clearing this quick, but the rewards you're getting is, it's just I don't know why that guy's in there. This Morgos works on dot defense, I guess, because if he has it on there when he takes damage from the dots, it'll do more damage to him. But it's just you're getting very little rewards for how easily you can beat this. They should have made these go a little higher to where you know because we can do the math on this, but yeah, they should have took these up to like level 15 or whatever, and started doling out more of the experience and the gold because you need so much gold to do anything, especially when you're doing the overpower and you're going from 60 to 70. It takes so much gold just to go because I've showed it before to go from level 60 to level 70 somebody. Plus, then you got to have the chivalries on the character. But to go to that level 70 on the overpower, I mean, yeah, here you're getting. They did adjust this a little bit, but you do 10 run of these, you're only going to get 7.3 million gold. Well, 10 run of these, that's enough to take somebody to go from 60 to 70, basically. 7.5 really to allow for the cushion there. But yeah, and then experience, you need the potions as well. So, 10 runs of this at 945, you're going to get 9,450. It takes a lot more than that just to do that. So, it needed better rewards uh and some higher levels, you know. Um Same thing with the equipment dungeons. I mean, it's not sorry. With the equipment dungeons. I mean, it's nice that they added the level 12s, but when you get in here, you're only getting still a 5 or 6 star. Like I heard another person that did content for this that they made the point that um, This actually should have went to level 15. It would have given us something more to kind of work towards to build out our stuff better, and then take this and just restrict it at that 15th level, just 6-star gear. Granted, it could have been common, uncommon, rare, and legendary, but at least it would have been 6-star instead of the mix between 5 and 6. Um, so, but yeah, it gave you a place to go sometimes, but they could have added more dungeons too. They could have did another one, because one of the things that was pointed out, and not only I've said it, a lot of other content creators have said it too. The gentleman I watched last night said that you could have put another dungeon in here, and for these sets, as you can see, you can't. Here's where you get your keepsakes. Unity was finally added to it, but the rest of them you got to go build. So if you want to go build anything, you've got to go. Oh, there's that stupid lag. I hate it. You have to go to the forge, go to the crafting, 5 and 6-star gear, and then yeah, you can build a lot. This is where you're primarily going to get a lot of your gear, because you're going to be farming this for the material. Then you use these on your 5 and 6-star gear to make sure that you get the better gear when you craft it. But vigor, there's no place to get vigor. They want you to come in here and craft it. They could have put in another dungeon that had gear that you don't, that doesn't have some of these other sets. And then, and then the other thing they could have done is, like they pointed out, was instead of this being a 4-piece set, could have made it a 2-piece set. That way you could have ran something like a vigor and a resistance, and then maybe an accuracy all in one. So somebody like Morgan, well, not resistance. But yeah, there you go. Vigor. We'll use Anya. Anya could have used vigor, counter, and well, actually, she could have used resistance or mercury accuracy, because her damage goes up on a resistance, but she's a counterattack specialist with high damage. So you would want to go with vigor, counter set, and then maybe a resistance set to get that damage. But but it didn't happen. So it's just, and then it's a luck of the draw. I mean, you trying to make sure you get what you want. And then here's something that I thought of too, that afterwards, like, okay, so you go in here and you craft a bunch of gear. I mean, granted, you can go in and you can roll it to try to change its stats. I've done that. It's expensive. It gets expensive quick. I actually was one time, I was sitting at like almost 30 million in gold, and by that time I got done rolling one piece of gear to try to get the perfect setup, the right stats for it to land. I think I was down to like 15 million gold, just to just to try to get the perfect stat on one piece of gear. So I think what it is you need to look at it, and if you craft something, um, here we'll do this. We'll craft some. We'll do a vigor. That one. No, we'll do this one, and then we'll go ahead and click this. Do this. We'll craft. All right. So I craft it. It's a legendary 6-star. Nice. So now we look at it. Of course, HP is the main stat. We get attack, hit, accuracy, and crit damage. Okay, that's a flat attack. So there's no attack speed in this, which is what you're going to want. Um, they should have allowed us to be able to sell this, and when we sold it, could have got a little bit of these resources back. You know, it takes 20, 30, 20, and 50. Maybe we could have got back like um, half, and then just half of this back, so that we could go, not having to constantly farm the equipment dungeons, but you know, in keepsakes and all that the same way. They could have made another keepsake dungeon. Well, they did add the focus set into um to the one dungeon. I don't think, I'd have to go look. I don't know if Unity was in there with it or not, but they did give us the Mage's Tower with the ability to do this. I don't know why they didn't give us the ability to go, and then alchemy. You can craft all kinds of different things that you need. Some of the material here, you get loot boxes that you need, or experiencing stuff like this. I don't know why they didn't let us go. I've said it before. I don't know why they didn't let us go in when we go into our bag, and all this excess stuff like these talismans and these statues and stuff. Um, and these, why couldn't we? Well, those, yeah, but the statues and the talismans, why couldn't we converted those, you know, up? And same thing with these. Why couldn't we have done these that way instead of having to go and farm the you know, the story mode all the time? I mean, I get it. It's a collector game. It's a resource management type game, and trying to min max everything like that. But um, Dimensional Rift came in. I play that to a point and then I quit. I'm done. I just I auto it, and when I can't auto it, then I know I'm done, and that's all I do. Hall of Conquerors, that was some good content that came in. Some of the guys that we took on in the game, they kind of made a little bit beefier versions of them, like Blazing Penvid. It's like the big brother to the other Penvid. So I mean, Talos, that's basically the guy you fight in the favor dungeons. So I mean, it was good. It gave you a chance to get in there and kind of theory craft and do some stuff. And then they brought out Clan Hall of Conquerors. Same thing as Hall of Conquerors, it's just now you're trying to use the clan raids. They did some work on that. It's just what it is. Forbidden Dungeon. Yeah, like I saw somebody say, they're rehashing old content. Once you beat somebody on one floor, once you beat this, it's it. You're done. You're just in, clicking auto clear, getting the resources, which is fine. The hard dungeon, I didn't even. I just cleared one and two, didn't even try this, and I just sweep through floor. But as you go, there's some people that you fight that you're like going, okay, I did this person way back here, but what team did I use? What order did I go in? And maybe I got the right RNG to be able to do it. But it's just like like right here, you got her that you end up fighting, and then you come down here and you got her again that you have to fight down here. So it's like, or is that somebody that's done it? I think that's somebody that's done it. Yeah, but it's just, you know, it gets to the point where you just, do I want to, how much time do I want to spend in here crafting and theory crafting, finding the right team and everything, trying to remember. I mean, do I have to sit down here with a pad of paper and everything and then just write down on the or I use this team, I was using this skill at this time, and and who knows, it might be that you did that on that floor and you nailed it, but then by the time you get to the next floor, it could have a different entry requirement, and then you might get just crap RNG, and then you try to follow it to the leather you did on the previous one time, and you're gonna be like, I failed. So, um, favor dungeons, yeah, these were locked to a see. I'm flip flop on this. They were locked out for a while. You can only do them on certain days, and then Sundays they were open where you could do all of them. And then I guess a lot of people threw a bunch of snuff on that, and they were like just like oh, and then so they were like, all right, we're just gonna open them all up. Um, Me personally, I think it would have added more to make you know, I don't like it that you can only do them on certain days except for one day of the week, and then because then you end up having to spend a lot of time in there farming on that one day. But I think it would have helped prolong it a little longer that if you actually had to do this on this day, this on this day, this, like that, it made you have to wait a little bit, and instead of here, you can just go in, blitz through it, doing, and then getting into it. Sealed Temple, this was always a big contention. Everybody didn't like it. I mean, they did double what we could do, but it was just like you're gating us to just 3 a day, and now we have to decide whether we want to get the talismans or if we want to get the tomes. And it just for a while there, I was back and forth. It was like Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays was Master of Death. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays was Master of Apocalypse, and then on Sunday I split it 3 and 3. So It just, but it could have had a little, more in here. They should have given a 6 and 6 for each one instead. Is what I've had a lot of people say and tell me too. So, but I mean, the main story is where you would go to farm all your stuff to get all these rewards. I mean, that's campaign. A lot of these games have a campaign. Raid has a campaign, has the different levels. The one nice thing was is if you ran out of stamina because we weren't getting a whole lot of stamina, you kind of had to buy it in a way, and which is fine, you had to do that. But the adventure mode was kind of neat. What the story kind of got you through real quick to kind of see what was kind of give you a synopsis of how things were playing along. But then when you go to adventure mode, I feel that adventure mode kind of opened up the storyline a little more, so you could get a little more in depth to it, which was kind of neat. And then it threw in some puzzles in there that you had to do, and then some of your treasure chests you had to get that you had to have certain characters. Um, that was annoying because sometimes it required you to have like to use an uncommon or common, and you're like going, I really don't want to invest that much into them. But and it's like maybe you need to have this rare or this legendary, and then it's like going, okay, I don't have it. Um, early on it was kind of hard. You had to go back later to try to get these chests until you got the character you need, and then you only wanted to build them up. Like one of them needed Claudus. I only built her to a certain point to be able to get through it, and then after that I was like I didn't build her much after that, and I still don't really use her at all, unless I'm required to in raids, or I'm using her in a war and it's an easy like bot team I know I could beat. So um, what else? What do we got? What do we got here? The Royal Road. I haven't beat this yet. I am 9 away from this, and probably I know I'm not going to be able to do this. So that means I'm going to miss out on all these rewards, which it is what it is. But you complete it, and then you get 5 legendary master memory stones. I mean, yeah, they're a rare resource in the game. But hey, come on, having to spend that much time and gold and experience points to get these 11 legendaries to 70. That is a chore in itself. I mean, look, I need one more to have that, and it's just that could have been probably I would have made that a full 20, honestly. So that way, when you got it, if you had somebody that you wanted to give, a chivalry to, you could right off the bat. Um, what else? The missions, yeah, everybody's got their missions. They all kind of coincide. Sometimes you can kind of cheese them to where it works. But it is what it is. They did improve the rewards for these a little better on completing all. This, not so much. These, okay, but still, it. And then the hero management. The graphics on the heroes are great. I mean, they look really good. I mean, who do we got here? I mean, you see he's got the fading here on his leather and stuff and the belt. Um, the weapon is, he holds it through that hole, but he can fling it and it does the damage it needs. Their kits were a little confusing because not only did you have the skills on the weapon, you had passives as well that worked that had cooldowns. And then also the other thing that I noticed somebody didn't put in there is not only were the skills in the kit, the relics, the passives, but then they also had this environmental effect, you know. Trying to build teams around a lot of this stuff to be able to work was just, and a lot of them was like if you found one that was rain, anybody that did rain in trying to match them up to that, it just, maybe it was somebody that didn't have good abilities, and you're like going, I'm not going to invest in this person. So it was a little kind of confusing. I mean, it was nice that you could reset them. A lot of people would do that. They would get a person, play with it, and I don't like it, and they'd reset it and get all their resources, but their chivalry's back. Um, so speaking of which, I just got his last chivalry, so let's go ahead and throw that on there. Finally got enough out of uh, the store to get his last chivalry. Um, but yeah, it was just it was kind of clunky in a way. And then the thing of it is D7 initial release, no improvements to him, no new ones added. Uncommon, same thing. Initial release, no new ones added, no upgrades to them. Uh, Out of the commons, I don't know of anybody in here that's worth using. Um, Honestly, I haven't used any of them. On the uncommons, when you start the game, when I started the game, Jarrett was an OG because of Gorgos, and then who else? Jack was pretty good. Luke, he's a decent healer to start, but he's okay. Jan, I think, has a moment, but yeah, other than that, eh, not much. Rare, yeah, you got some decent rares in here. Kay is good in the early game to mid game. She was really good and crucial for getting to Gorgos along with Anguish. She cleared dots, he applied dots, and then Jarrett also removed dots as well. She was a dot master. He was with the right relic just a damage dealing fool with an AoE. Bodwin is a cheap version of Guinevere if you're doing Crom Cruox stage 10-7. Uh, so she has the ability to polymorph, which was great. She worked good early on for the bear. It's just there's some decent characters, but they just never added more to them and added to them. They all just started putting their light in on the legendaries, and then some of them, oops, and then some of the legendaries weren't even worth it. She was touted to be the Kadar's dungeon boss killer. You know, you get her flame relic, and you throw her in there, and then she dies, and then she gets uber strong. It's like when she dies, she goes Super Saiyan if you're into Dragon Ball Z, and then she just starts wiping the board. Well, she was lackluster, very very lackluster. So, and then they brought out Aqua Guinevere, which is a joke. I mean, why? Well, were you guys lost at what you were going to do for that? And then you make her and then Revenant Merlin. You put those two behind a gate to where they're a limited summon. Revenant Merlin wasn't a bad character. Um, no, she's not a great character, but I mean, but she does have a nice look to her and all that. But you gated them behind limited, and then the only way you can get their chivalries is by using the legendary master memory stones. So Valeria was the latest one. Sadly, we're not going to get the rest of her relics. Um, she seems like a decent character. I mean, she's nothing to write home about, but she was decent. She was added to the Crow favor, which they definitely needed something in the Crow favor. So, but it is. They just started throwing their lot into the legendary pool and not offering up any more in this area here. They could have given you somebody that could have fallen into the rare category that, like the one person I watched last night said that maybe the one legendary does this and this and this, but maybe there should have also been a rare character that was brought in, a couple that one did the one thing and then the other one did the other thing. So it's just yeah, they just started going down the legendary track, and then they kind of lost it from there. Um, what else? The different relics. It's nice that you have the different relics in here, but as you can see, as you click through, they each have like a different kit all around. And like I saw one person say, they said they could still have the different, uh, flame, frost, storm, but just make the kit the same all for all three of them. You know, it just because it does. It started getting confusing. But yeah, there was a lot. There's a lot more that I could talk about the how it started off. could have been in a good game, but their biggest downfall was it was bought up by Netmarble from Kabam, and then it was never marketed. I think I've only seen one person said that they saw an advertisement for it. Other than that, it wasn't marketed. It was just a few people in there. Oh, and the other thing too is when you come to the summonings, there's nothing special going on in the summonings. No more relics. I mean, I can't do any rate up summons because guess what? There's no rate ups to summon with. So, but yeah, this being able to do this and your wish list made it too easy to get to end game real fast. For the rate up summons, it was nice for the that you was able to get if you pulled a legendary, it didn't reset the counter. I think I agree with the other person. They said that this counter should have been set a little higher. I'm thinking maybe 75 pulls or up to 100, and then from there, but then it should, then you could put a wish list in, but I don't think the rates for it shouldn't just been locked into, you know, because with this, I have a 1 in 4 chance of pulling one of these four when I hit pity, and it just I can't, you know, it makes it go quicker to get to end game, so it did it kind of you didn't have to spend money in this game ever since they redid this. So and then having to get all the chivalries to be able to 11 copies of one character to get them fully maxed out. It was just yeah, it was a uh, it wasn't handled very well in the beginning. A lot of crap happened in the beginning that they lost a lot of people from it. I know I know it sounds like I'm beating a dead horse, and I'm sorry, I apologize, but it's just kind of wanted to let everybody know too that this you know there's not much else to do in the game. There's nothing to advance. You can't really theory craft anything anymore. They've made it to where you can just buy your way to the not buy, but I mean, well, yeah, you can buy. You can get if you want to spend money in this game, you can get end game within a matter of 2 3 months, if that. If you're free to play and you're good at min maxing and all the stuff they throw at you as far as the crystals and the summons and things like that early on just yeah, probably within 4 or 5 months, you could probably be in game competing with the guys that have paid. So yeah, it is. It's sad, and it really saddens me. I love this game. It's a fun game. It's a great game. They needed to do more with it. If they hadn't botched some of the launches on some things early on, they probably would still have a player base. But because they made it so easy to get stuff in the game as far as characters, and not growing that pool of characters, it hurt them. It hurt them really bad. So, but yeah, it is sad, sad for me to say that um, this is going to be my last video for the game because I can't see making content for a game that is going to shut down in a few months. So, um, I want to give a heartfelt thanks to all the people that have subscribed to my channel, and to all those that have viewed my videos. I appreciate it. It's been fun. It's been wonderful. It's been an experience jumping into the YouTube world to do content for a game. It is definitely a learning curve. But I think I've weathered it well. But now all I need to do is I need to start moving forward from here. Looking at whatever. I'm definitely going to try out Godforge when it comes out. I'm gonna see if I can't try to get to an early access. I didn't get put on the list to get playing any of the other the early alphas and certain things like that. So, but if they've got like an early soft launch that I can get into. And then hopefully they don't reset the accounts, which I don't have a problem if they do a soft launch. And then when they go to do a global, or any game that does this, if they go to do a global, and then they just reset everybody's accounts so that everybody that starts when it globally launches is starting all on a fresh page. I have no problem with that. I know some people, especially your spenders, they don't like it because that means like, hey, You know, that's money that they spent, but then they're not going to get back or whatever. So, if I was to ever get to the point where I could start doing that, and I got a game that came out in soft launch, I wouldn't spend in the soft launch. I would just play it free to play. And then when it went global and I felt that it deserved some of my money, then once it went global, then I would support the game. But in soft launch, no, I can't see doing that. So, anyways, yeah, thank you everybody. I really truly do appreciate it. Um, it has been fun. I've enjoyed the interaction with some of the people that have left me comments, and it is a sad day that this game couldn't continue on. I just wished it had the backing that it needed and the people to be able to further it. So, everybody, um, it is it. I got a saddened heart, but I'm thankful, truly, truly thankful. So everybody, again, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Uh, I understand it if people want to leave. I get it. That's YouTube. It's part of the content creator thing. People come and go all the time. It was discouraging in the beginning, but I thought, I had to tell myself, hey, the YouTube people come and go. So I've done it myself. There's guys that I've watched, and then there's guys that I'd subscribe to and be like, yeah, and they're like, yeah, you know what, really, no, and then I'd leave. And so again, everybody, thank you. I very much appreciate it. I just want everybody to know that I am truly, truly grateful. So without further ado, um, we'll leave you with the usual. Be safe. Most of all, be blessed. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.